is of the essence for both defense and offense, which is why dash and air dash are perfect to get close to enemies without taking any damage. I like to bring a katana to a gunfight, and it goes great with a new perk that lets you deflect bullets and even send them flying back at enemies. If you're running low on health, you can also perform a finisher on low health enemy for a quick boost. But this playstyle isn't only about blades. You can combine 3 great perks, stun jog, air dash and air Kerenzikov, to leap off motorcycles and rain down bullets from the sky in slow motion. The new jailbreak ability from Phantom Liberty unleashes the full power of your Mantis blades. After finishing or dismembering an enemy, you can perform a really long leap to deal devastating damage. Great for getting rid of those hard-to-reach targets like snipers and netrunners. With this build, your enemies won't know what hit them.
The fixer that you know from the base game, and there is one thing that we wanted to clarify. It's not Mama Wallace that is gonna be selling you guys the cars and dealing with all those missions. It's Muammar Reyes.
Yeah, oh. I don't think Mama Wallace will be able to sell the car. She can actually sell you a drink if you ask her nicely, but not necessarily a car.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. All right, so what can you tell us about these quests?
Yeah, so in Dogtown, you'll get this kind of new activity unlocked, vehicle gigs or vehicle contracts. Miramar reaches out and he's like, hey, you're in Dogtown, you can help me out with something and pick up this vehicle. And this is the introductory quest to it, I believe, that we're playing right here. When you get there, he's gonna be like, listen, I've got a bunch of different targets throughout Night City and Dogtown. If you can help me with this, then, you'll be compensated, and one of the ways he compensates you is by unlocking new types of vehicles, including missile launchers. This is how you get the missile launchers unlocked, is through Miramar. And there's of course, as we like to do at CD Projekt Red, there's a story surrounding this, and it is.
And for me, it was insanely surprised when I first time played it, and it was just proper story to it.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah,
you know, it's just such, it's just fun. It's really fun.
So yeah, and it has to do with like his hometown and that kind of stuff. And I don't want to spoil anything, but one of the key features of this is that it is you just see it like you'll see on your map. It's like, oh, here's one of the targets. Here's one of the targets, and it's dynamic. And the objectives are dynamic, and the enemies that come at you are dynamic, and it can be different gangs, it can be Tiger Claws, it can be Voodoo Boys, it can be whoever, and some of the activities are actually hacking another vehicle and getting it, so you've got to ghost a vehicle and be sneaky stealth, right? Some are just all-out combat, some are about you got to get to a place in time, so it's a very, and it's different locations, it's all what's the word I'm looking for? I hesitate to use this, dynamic. I keep using it, but it's like
it is dynamic.
It's all over. It's all over the place. But again, you unlock it in Dogtown with Phantom Liberty, but you'll see it throughout Night City at that point.
But it won't be in the base game. It's just the Phantom Liberty.
This is one of the things in Phantom Liberty. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that we can actually unlock some cars with weapons, vehicles with weapons through that quest. But we had people asking us whether they can actually add weapons onto the cars that they already have.
No, it's preset. Though there are some vehicles in the base game that you already purchased or you already got, and we did add weapons to it because it was kind of supposed to be there. So yeah, there's some of that.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned that you can also do the hacking during car combat.
Yeah.
Do you have to be a netrunner to do that?
You have to be a netrunner. Well, I mean, we've got this open class system, right?
Yeah,
so you can be a hybridized netrunner. You can be a smidge of a netrunner.
You just need some cyber deck.
You need a cyber deck and you need a perk to unlock it. But the better of a netrunner you are, the more different hacks on vehicles you unlock.
So
And so you can hack the actual vehicles, but you can also hack passengers inside of vehicles.
Ah, okay.
And when you hack the vehicle, some of the vehicle hacks that we have is like, and this is a fun one in chases, is to make them lose control of their car and like steer off and crash, or even force brakes. And of course, one of the really powerful ones are to detonate. You can detonate the car on them. And then probably the most fun one is you can remote control the vehicle. Okay, all right, so what, I just start from the top?
Can we talk about, why can we shoot?
Because it's awesome. That's why we can shoot. And right now we've got some mounted guns that it's shooting from. And if you go into, vehicles, all of them you can, use your pistols, your SMGs and shoot from it. The vehicles, some vehicles have mounted turrets, of which we're demonstrating there. And then some vehicles have missile racks as well. So as far as the vehicle combat goes, those are your options with that. Oh, and there's hacking. You can hack as well from the vehicle and into other vehicles. How awesome does that look? And man, kudos to who recorded this in first person, driving in first person and shooting in first person. But yeah, so, and should I jump into the police system?
Yes, because I think we just made them a bit angry.
Like there.
Wow. With vehicle combat, I should actually back up for a second. So on the bikes, you can also use melee weapons, which is a lot of fun. And then you can precision shot the gas tanks, which is different on different vehicles as they're different made. So it's one of those fun things that, as you get really good at this, you can really pull off some cool stunts. And you can hit tires with the katana blade, you can shoot tires. And so then the police system, as you get into trouble, one reason or another, you start to gain heat. And when the police show up, at first they're just like, okay, where did the action happen? Where did the crime happen? Or where did we get called for whatever reason and whatever kind of quest or whatever? And I try not to spoil things, but when they show up at the scene, if you're still at the scene, then of course you get into combat, but you might want to go. But if you start to really crank up the heat, then they'll send more people at you. And they have tactics. They try to run you off the road. They try to T-ball. It's so much fun when you're going full speed and suddenly, bam! It's like, we got those moments. It's really cool. So, and then if you really crank up the heat, they start to bring out their own weaponized vehicles. And then of course we're seeing here, and you crank it out even more. Now you got MaxTac that shows up.
5 stars.
Yeah. And when MaxTac shows up, so if you're in a vehicle and MaxTac's trying to get you, you'll see on the screen they're trying to hack your vehicle to, stop you. And then if your vehicle gets hacked, then they show up in an AV, or if you're on foot already, and 4 MaxTac come out. There's 5 different archetypes, and it's a random 4 of the 5 different archetypes that come out to fight you. And one of the things is, like, as those of you who know you've played, there's difficulty modes, right? And you put on lower difficulty modes, guys are actually easier. However, with MaxTac,
So they just have one
minimum,
level hard.
Minimum is hard. Minimum is hard, and there's a minimum level as well. So there is no story mode for MaxTac.
So the moral is don't do crime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the thing is you don't get to this level unless you want it. You really got to push for this level, right, to get it here. And so if you're engaging in that, we want to make sure that MaxTac is an encounter. So what should I go into? I could talk forever about this stuff. There's just so much.
I don't know. I was playing and I was randomly just driving and was trying to get rid of the police. And the more I tried getting rid of them, the more of them were showing up. So I actually reached MaxTac this way because I just wanted them to leave me alone.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to ask, what's the search loop for the police? Can you just I know you can run away from them, but you have to just run and run and run because I managed that. But is it difficult, or at some point they just so there's nobody there, let's drop the search?
Yeah. So as far as 1, 2, 3 stars, you maneuver away. We try to strike the balance of the realism, but also the agency of being I'm trying to get out of this. And I'm not sure what's shown in this video, but we show you we expand the radar, we show the circles, and we like to internally we call it the Pac-Man game, because if you've got 2, 3, even 4 stars to some extent, you'll see little circles of their cone of visions or whatever, and you can navigate in the roads and avoid them and that kind of thing or whatnot. And then, of course, if you get on foot, it's a little bit easier to lose them. So you should be familiar with that kind of loop there. And then, of course, if you go into quest areas and there's a quest you want to pursue, we tone it down appropriately for the quest as well.
Okay. Also, I don't know if we can see that here, but I remember when I was playing and I had police on my ass. I actually had the gang members. Yes, that's my one. I had actually gang members, helping me to fight the police. Is that the case as well? Like for most of the gangsters, I was just lucky.
Well, I mean, and I've talked about this in other interviews, but one of the important points is that the player is an agent that does stuff and it affects the world, but we also have other agents in the world, and we've also done a number of different enhancements on that front. You might see like two gangs just like chasing each other. You might see cops chasing some gangsters or whatever. It has nothing to do with you. It's happening in the world. The world's alive. Now you can interfere, and particularly going back to Dogtown, if you see like a caravan doing a weapons transport or whatever, or there's an airdrop or whatever, and Kurt's militia's coming to pick it up, you can intercept, and maybe there's some cool loot to be found there or whatnot. But it's the same thing here. Like if you're into it with the police and there's something else going on with the gang, it could be a mix.
So they can help out, or not?
If you play it right, you gotta be careful where your bullets fly.
Okay. I actually also wanted to go back to the hit system because we have the stars, but can we actually explain how you can get the stars? Like, so if I shoot someone randomly on the street, do I get already 1 star, 2 stars, or do I actually have to run through like a bunch of people to get like 3 stars? Well,
so if you commit any crime, you get a star. Like that, any crime. If you run someone over, if you shoot someone intentionally, you get a star. Now, especially when you get into Dogtown, but also in some other situations, you might get some stars based on quest situations, like things that are happening. And how do you? There's a formula and it's a gradient. So I can't say exactly like, okay, if you killed 3 people, an important point, it varies by district and neighborhood and funding, right? Because part of the Cyberpunk world, Night City, and the story, it's socioeconomic. So they care a bit more than others. Always one person, it's a star, it's a crime. But how far do they escalate? Do they send in the big guns? Do they send in MaxTac? It really depends on the funding in the district. And you also hear different, the police have different comments about what district and how much they care, what they're going to do, and that kind of stuff.
We maybe tell a bit more about Dogtown police, and will NCPD go there?
Police is not allowed there, right? The thing is that there's no NCPD, right? The Bargas are there, and we said like they're trying to keep the district safe, but they're not that much trying to protect you. But still, if you're going to shoot them, they will try to shoot you back. And the same system goes: the more you shoot Bargas, the more you shoot people, the more stars they will have.
They have different units. They have different vehicles.
Can we talk what's going to happen over 5 stars in Dogtown? Or?
Well, it's a little bit of a spoiler. You already answered. It's. Yeah, okay, fine. Never mind. At any rate, there's different units, but in Dogtown, MaxTac will show up because if there's someone that's at that level and it's cyberpsychosis, because you're causing that much mayhem, that's essentially what it is. Again, player agency-wise, it's not like we take over your character and then you're doing a cyberpsychosis thing. Then yes, MaxTac will show up in Dogtown, but otherwise it is the Bargas militia.
Yeah. All right. Can we defeat MaxTac? I know Sebastian is already killing them.
Someone's doing great jobs surviving such a long time with MaxTac. So.
Yeah. He was trying to show how badass he is. I get it. But no, and the other thing to note is in Badlands, it's Militech. Militech is out there.
All right.
In the Badlands, as far as the units go, with the heat system.
All right. So I think we covered most of the police feature. If you guys have any questions, please drop them on our forums and Discord. So. We will try to clarify anything that's unclear, or if you want to know more during the next stream as well, with maybe the same guest or maybe with someone else.
We actually have a cool question from our Twitch chat. So we can run from the police, we can fight with the police, but can we bribe them?
No, we don't have a bribing.
Took a second there.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just watching. I wanted to see what he did. He did Quig, which is really fun because when you do the slam, it does physics on vehicles, and you get some nice.
But that's props for him for really surviving such a long time. MaxTac.
All right, what's the next question?
Okay, so we have a question in general about Phantom Liberty. Does the story take us out of Dogtown at all?
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, exactly.
We're not gonna spoil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there are parts that you're gonna explore New Place in Night City itself, but the majority of the thing it's Dogtown.
That's enough. That's enough. I think that's enough
Alright.
for people to know.
Alright.
And another one: will Dogtown be accessible outside of Phantom Liberty?
So no, to be able to have the full experience of Dogtown, you have to get Phantom Liberty. However, for people that don't get Phantom Liberty, you're going to be able to see Phantom Liberty, Dogtown, from let's say from perspective of someone that cannot get in there. So you're going to see the whole thing. You're going to see the gates. You're going to see people standing trying to get there, but you will not be able to get because you don't have the access to it.
So you will see the gate.
Exactly. You see the gate. You will see horizon, the vista itself. It's there, but you will not be able to get in.
Okay. So now
I love it. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he's trying to they're shooting past him with the mounted weapons, and he's trying to outmaneuver. This is fun. And he's got you see the bar there, the hack. They're trying to hack, and they disabled his car now. And he's trying to run from the
with
from the
my
next
favorite
AV.
weapon here.
Yeah,
Look at that.
The bat. All right, what's the next one? What's the next question?
Oh, you like the questions?
Well, I mean, I don't know. What's the next part in the script? Like, where do we go?
I mean, we're gonna go. If you want to talk a little bit more about the car combat, this is perfect place as well.
I can just talk about this from the perspective of the player.
Okay.
Right, which is when I remember you told me at some point like we're gonna get there. I was like, okay, fine, but I had no idea how fun it's gonna be, because it's really really fun. And from one point of view, being fun is that it also gives so much more fun factor to the whole thing, right? You can just take your car and even wreak havoc over Night City itself. And that combined with police system trying to get away from them, fight them, it's really awesome gameplay loop, and I really have fun so much with it. So I'm just trying to say that this is just awesome. It's one of the best features I feel like we're introducing here, from my perspective, of course. Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the goal is to try to give. I mean, and I've said this in other interviews, but the city is beautiful. Right, like in the dark future kind of way, of course. But yes, it's beautiful and it feels so alive, and we wanted to just breathe more life into it. And a way to do that is with kind of systems that complement and manage and meet expectations, rather. Are we going to talk about vehicle gigs or vehicle contracts?
Yes, we have another piece of gameplay later on, so we can.
I'm famous for going out of order. And
because it always connects very well to this endless gameplay loop, which is so much fun from both Dogtown and Night City.
We lost all the stars, and
I think we're gonna be safe right now.
Like he killed everyone. He killed the whole MaxTac
almost. Like they're still
the whole NCPD is dead.
But I guess we can go to the vehicle gigs.
Okay, so what we're gonna show you in a second is our brand new type of missions. So we're gonna have vehicle gigs.